after this call, so you can have
Beautiful.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, amazing souls, everybody here on Zoom, and
Mm.
everybody that's watching us live on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the different platforms that we stream to. I'm going to be your host. My name is Sam Hidja. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Divinfi, and I'm super excited. It's interesting because it's 5 in the morning here. It's 5:05 here at in Dubai, and you know, I really have not been getting much sleep the last few let's say 4 weeks or so. It's been interesting, but I really wouldn't be wanting to do anything else. Just sharing the gift that Divine Five really is my favorite thing to do. And if that means sacrificing a little bit of sleep, I'm so more than happy to do that. And because it is a gift. And so I hope that you guys can receive this gift if you're watching this, and hopefully you can pass it on. That's what it's all about. It's about having the freedom and then sharing that with other people. And so I'm going to get into the um, presentation today. Let me make sure that you have the newest one. Just give me one moment, guys, and we'll get right into it. Um, while I do this, I want to figure out where everybody's calling in from. So if you are here on Zoom or any of the other platforms, just comment below your city, your state, your country, wherever you're calling in from. That way we get a better idea of our audience and how vast and wide the community is growing. So just if you could, just below, just drop the city, state, country. Queensland, Australia. Awesome. Australia showing up. So I'm here in Dubai right now. I'll be, like I said, before I started live streaming, I'll be going to the Philippines here in the next couple of days. Cebu. Absolutely love the Philippines. The best beaches. Love the people there. So awesome. So, yeah, I'm really excited. We got Singapore in the house today. Awesome. I've only been to Singapore one time, and it was just as a layover. Absolutely love the airport there. It's amazing. All right, we got Queensland, Australia once again. Awesome. Let's go. Australia is showing up. Japan. Awesome. Heck yes. Japan has like some of the best food ever. Oh man, the sushi, the Wagyu beef.
I got to live in Japan for 2 years. I was in Japan for 2 years.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I traveled from the top to the bottom.
Oh
And
wow. What was your
beautiful,
favorite part?
beautiful food, brother. Beautiful food.
Yeah. And I loved how organized it is. It's super
Mm.
organized. Hospitality is on another level. And so,
And
yeah,
safe, super safe,
yeah, I
safer.
never
Even the
felt
weather.
threatened.
No,
Why were you
so
there,
good.
by the way? If you don't mind me asking.
Myself, well, I
Yeah.
was there. I was teaching English. English is my second language, but I was teaching that at a Juku. But I was also playing baseball.
Oh,
I was getting
wow.
paid to play.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, and then on the side, I was also teaching rugby because from New Zealand, we're the best at rugby. We're the best at rugby. So I was teaching rugby on the side because I was playing rugby in New Zealand.
That's awesome. Rugby's a pretty intense sport.
It's full on, brother. It's head on, no pads, straight out, muscle to muscle.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know why my screen is now kind of tripping. What the heck? Let's see. Sorry, guys. My screen is a little bit lagging. What in the world? Okay. What is going on? Technical difficulties. Okay. This has never happened before. I don't have my team here to help me with this. I'm not the most technical person, so let's see if I can
You
figure
got it,
this out.
brother. You got it. We're here supporting you. You got this.
Oh no. Okay. That's odd. Let's see. Oh, I think I can figure it out. Let's see. What in the world? This never happened before. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is end the stream and then hop back on. Just hop back on in
Okay.
literally just 1 minute.
Okay. We call back on the same number, right? So
Yeah,
I
same
get
number. All right,
same
guys.
number.
Sorry about
Thank you.
that.
All good. Okay. Okay, Max, we go off and come back on. Okay.
All right, awesome. We're still streaming, so that's awesome. It didn't take,
That's cool.
it did not completely change things. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna share my screen and we'll get right into tonight's call and then the information. So I want to welcome you guys to the biggest launch in history, Divinfi, your freedom ecosystem. So our mission here at Divinfi is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom to all 8 billion people here on Earth. And so that's really four aspects. So the financial freedom, the location freedom, the time freedom, and most importantly, the emotional freedom to really be able to enjoy it all, right? And so if you don't know who I am, like I said, my name is Sam, and I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years. And I really feel very blessed to be here because my whole life, I knew that I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than myself. I just didn't know what that was, right? Maybe you feel the same way. And so about 12 years ago, I got introduced and I started to get into the entrepreneurship space. At first, I was actually in the car exporting business. I would buy cars all over the US and then I would ship them out to places like Dubai, like Saudi Arabia, like the Dominican Republic, and so on and so forth. So all these different markets. And I actually did pretty well in that industry. I made my first six figures at the age of 18. And then from there, what happened was is I started to get some deeper insights on what was really important in life because I was making pretty good money, especially at my age. But then I realized that I didn't have the location freedom. I had to be in certain places. I had to drive like a lot, go pick up cars and then ship them out and so on and so forth. And then I also didn't have the time, right? I was actually working 80 hours a week. And then my health was going downhill. That's a whole other story. I was literally living off of Red Bull and cigarettes. And I remember also taking like a bunch of prescription drugs, which weren't prescribed to me, but I was taking them. And it's just living really kind of on the edge and not really fulfilled in life. And so I got introduced to a guy in the field of network marketing. This guy was a couple of years older than me. He was living life on a whole other level, right? He was able to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. He was flying on the private jets. He was, basically making money wherever he went. And so he had the financial freedom, the location freedom, and the time freedom. And then, I just had a lot of different mentors over the years. I remember one of my mentors, he's like, yeah, he's like, the weather is uh, not really a problem for me. So, because whenever it gets cold somewhere, I just go to somewhere that's warm. And if it's warm somewhere and it's hot, then I just go somewhere where it's nice and cool. So I was like, damn, that's the life I want to have. And over the last 12 years, I've been able to earn millions and millions of dollars in different industries. I did network marketing, affiliate marketing, I did direct sales, I did e-commerce, forex trading, crypto trading, coaching, and I'm still actually doing rental arbitrage. I have a whole corporate leasing company in the US, which is fully automated. But back in June 2023, I started to really, I don't know, it just started to really feel like I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Even though I helped a lot of people, with their own life, there was something deeper that was missing, and it started to come to the surface. And so, even though I had done and read thousands and thousands of books over the last 10 years, I've done seminars and workshops and energy work and plant medicine and transformational workshops and breathwork, got certified in breath, all of these different things on trying to help myself grow personal development. I still was experiencing something pretty crazy, which I never had before. It never started to show up because, I always thought that once I made the money, once I had the freedom, all of the stuff, like then I'll be happy. And I was going on like a trip where I actually went to Japan, I went to Malaysia and Indonesia and the Philippines and Thailand. I went all over, and I wasn't working at all. I was just literally living like this, just like basically free lifestyle, or at least I thought. I started to experience really bad anxiety, depression, was having crazy panic attacks. I would wake up every morning, could barely breathe. And then I actually got to the point where I was suicidal. And it really hit me when I was married at the time, and I told my wife at the time, like, hey, like I'm gonna go to the balcony. I need to breathe. Like I can't breathe. I was like, I just need some alone time. And I'm like, should I just jump? Like that's literally the thoughts that are coming to my mind. Like, should I just end it all? Because like, why the heck am I even living? I can't even enjoy life. And that was literally like when I knew things had to change. Something had to change. And I've said this before, and I'm very, very adamant about it. Like humans, we are motivated by two things. It's either inspiration or motivated by desperation at that time. And I would say for the majority of my life, I was motivated by desperation, and I was extremely desperate for change. And I got to the point to where I ended up going through divorce, which was really hard, especially whenever you think you're going to live with someone and you pour your whole everything into someone and into that relationship. And then I ended up going to jail in Bali, Indonesia for basically having marijuana, right? I was actually heavily addicted to smoking weed. I smoked it every day for 12 years. And granted, that's probably part of why I was experiencing a lot of those issues. And then when I was in Bali, I stayed in the jail for about 6 days and then 17 days in a rehab. And they actually made me pay them $50,000 just to get out of jail. So it was pretty bad, right? Like, I mean, and the funny thing is I actually wanted to stop smoking. So it was a perfect way for me to stop. And I believe that I actually created that entire situation so I could stop, which I'm ultimately grateful for it. But it took me to a very low place. And after getting out of jail and rehab and all that and paying, $50,000, I was in Bali And I got a call from my friend Jamie, who's the CEO of Divinfi, and he's like, "You need to come to the Philippines and you need to come meet Don," which I met Don online, but never in person. And so Don has been creating and piecing together this transformational program over the last 44 years. And so what this program does is it helps you go to the very first moment in time where you had a trauma and he helps you release it. And so Don has been using this process with his clients. One of his clients was the people that created the BlackBerry phone back in the day. And he worked with 60 plus of their executives. He helped them go from $6 billion to 68 billion. He's worked with elite athletes in 15 different sports. He's worked with, for example, the ex-vice president of the United States. He's worked with so many of these high-level people. Some of them paid him up to $1 million just for a 2 hour session. And so when I went to the Philippines and I met with Don, in this 2 hour session, he completely shifted everything for me, right? So like all the anxiety, all the depression and panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, all gone within a 2 hour session. And I had been working on this for 10 plus years. And within a 2 hour session, completely gone. So it was absolutely miraculous. Not only that, a lot of things that I was dealing with, like I said, like was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to, I had many, many girlfriends at the same time. I'm not proud of that. It's just what it was. I was addicted to sex. I was addicted to people pleasing and validation and all these different things, money, all of that completely gone within an instant. Dawn's process is that powerful. Like there was no pull that I needed anything outside of myself. It was like I ultimately became aware of all of the things in my life, and I was able to actually break free and now operate from a place of pure abundance rather than lack and needing outside of myself. And some of you on this call know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like pure awareness of who you truly are. And it's unlike anything that I've ever experienced. And like I said, I've tried a lot of different things, like basically everything. And so I'll give you an example of how this works. And so there's this chart. It's called the chart of consciousness. It was created by a guy named Dr. David Robert Hawkins. And so there's a book called Power versus Force that he wrote, and it talks about this, that every single emotion that we experience is on a scale of consciousness. It goes from 0 to 1,000. Shame is at the bottom, which is a 20 consciousness level or frequency or vibration, right? Like you can interchangeably use these words. So shame is at 20, fear is at 100, courage is 200, enlightenment is anywhere from 700 to 1,000. Okay, very simple. 0 to 1,000. So for some reference, we all know a guy named Hitler, right? So we know what he did, the crazy stuff that he did. It was really only because he was operating at a level of 50 consciousness. Okay, now all of the great teachers that roamed this earth that were enlightened beings, they were at a level 1,000. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Zoroaster, just to name a few, they were all at a level 1,000. And what they knew and what they preached was that our natural state, meaning you watching this call and every single person on earth, our natural state is one of enlightenment. That's our natural state. And what happens is something happens before the age of 7, anywhere from 7 to 0, meaning even whenever you're in the womb of your mother, something happens that energetically anchors you in these lower levels of consciousness where you're playing and you're operating from a sabotage program where when things get too good, you figure out a way to sabotage yourself, where you operate from a victim mentality, where you operate from a poverty consciousness, right? And so No one's really devoid of this. 99.9999% of people are all operating from these lower levels of consciousness. And actually, more than 80% of the world is actually under this line right here. They're under 210 consciousness. And I would say the majority are actually operating from a level 100 fear. They're afraid of losing their job. They're afraid that their spouse will leave. They're afraid that of death, which is normal. But the thing is when you know the truth that you are eternal, you're not afraid of any of these things. You're able to move with full knowing, which is what this process does. And you playing small and you not being in your infinite energy, it doesn't serve you. And it also doesn't serve the world. So Dawn's process, what it does is it helps you remove the energetic anchor that's holding you in these lower levels of consciousness and helps you access your infinite God energy. So the thing about this, I'll give you an image. So imagine you're at the very bottom of the ocean, and attached to you is an anchor. So you're trying to swim to the top of the ocean, but you can only get 30% before the anchor brings you down. Right? So you swim 30%, the anchor brings you back down. That is exactly what's happening energetically. Every time you get to, let's say 30 or 40, 50%, whatever, you come back to your original, like your default program. And so Dawn helps you remove this energetic anchor so you can float to the top, which is your natural state, which is enlightenment. Okay, so it's super powerful. I know some of the people on this call have experienced it and they can vouch for it. It's unlike anything that I've ever experienced or heard of or anything. So Dawn's ultimate goal is to help 114 people on this earth hold the level of enlightenment, because one person operating from a level 700 counteracts 70 million people under a 200. So 114 people at the level of 700 completely shift the entire world and shifts the entire world to a level 700. So that's Dawn's ultimate goal. And so our system is comprised of two sides. There's the consciousness side, and then there's the currency side. So one without the other is incomplete. So we wanted to create a system to help people with both things. Have this high level of consciousness and then also have the currency to be able to affect the world with really the thing that, I mean, it's just a tool. Money's just a tool, right? If you're a great person, you're going to do great things with it. If you're an evil person, you'll do evil things with it. Money is neutral. It's just in the hands of the right people, you can actually affect change. So I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But if you're wondering how this works, so Dawn has 2 classes a week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are for new clients. Thursdays are for existing clients. If you've not done Dawn's class, Dawn's program, you want to scan this QR code and answer the questionnaire and attend the very next class, which is going to be Tuesday. And then for the people that have already gone through it, make sure that you're constantly going back. I've had to do a couple of times just because I've been, just to put it into easy to understand terms, is like if you've been doing this pattern for, let's say, 30 years, like my first traumatic moment was in the womb of my mother. So I'm 30 years of age. I had been doing this pattern for 30 years. So you need to get the neurocellular muscle strong of holding this high level of consciousness. So you want to continue to go through Dawn's class over and over and over again. So you just get used to it. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the currency side. So we have our AI. It's called Apollo. So Apollo is a AI, And AI really is getting huge in today's world, right? Like, for example, you probably heard of ChatGPT. A lot of businesses are starting to use that to automate their work, right? I mean, I use it every day. And then there's people that, for example, use AI. Another practical example is in their Teslas, or in, China's coming out with a lot of vehicles that uses AI and AR and all this stuff. People trust AI so much that they're taking their hands off of the steering wheel of their vehicle and allowing it to drive them home. So I believe, and I know it's time for you to trust AI enough to take your hands off the steering wheel and allow it to grow your bank account. And with Apollo, that's exactly what you can do. It's a crypto AI, trades crypto futures. So the way that it works is you would have it API'd, meaning it's just a connection. It's a simple connection where they could see the funds in your wallet. They can trade the funds, but they cannot withdraw the funds. You have complete control of the money, and it's growing it anywhere from 20 to 50% returns every single month. So it's absolutely amazing what's possible nowadays. And so, in the last couple of weeks, I think like less than 4 weeks for sure. It's been like 3 weeks and a few days, like probably like 20 something days. It's done about 51% returns. And so could it do more than 50%? Yeah. Could it do less than 20? Yeah, of course. There's nothing guaranteed when it comes to investing, so only risk what you're willing to lose. But this is just the range that we've seen, and the average that we've seen over the last few years has been 28%. So this is a disclaimer. Past performances are not indicative of future results. Make sure that you're only investing where you're willing to lose. And I'm going to show you the power of compounding. So, hold on. Let me make sure I can get this up. Compounding calculator. I'm going to show you what the power of compounding can actually do for you. Compounding. Okay. All right, awesome. So, let's see. Okay, so right now, it doesn't matter what country you're in, whether you're in Singapore or Japan or the Philippines or Australia or US or Mexico or Europe, it does not matter. Right now, there is hyperinflation, right? Meaning that the currency of these countries are starting to devalue over time. Why? Because I'll just give you a really cut and dry. The US has printed trillions and trillions of dollars over the last few years, especially since COVID. And whether you know this or not, the US dollar, every other currency is actually pegged to it. So what happens with the US dollar affects every single other country. Okay. If you want to know why, do some research, look into the Federal Reserve and all that. Okay. So I'm not going to go into that right now. I don't want them to ban my live stream. So, um, so basically the money that you have in your bank accounts actually losing value every single month. In fact, the US dollar lost about 1% a month for the last couple of years. So if you looked at July 2023 and compared it to July 2024, and let's say you go to the grocery store, I'm sure you guys have noticed it. You try to buy some groceries, the amount of groceries that you're able to buy is less. And it's not because the prices are going up, it's that the that's how it's reflected. The prices of groceries go up because the dollar or the euro or the peso or the yen or whatever is now worth less. So the amount of goods you can purchase is now you have to pay more for the same goods. So I want you to think of Apollo, our AI, as a savings account where you can actually compound your money and you can have it earn you money instead of lose money. Okay, so I'm going to show you this compound calculator. The minimum that you need to invest into Apollo is 1,000 US dollars. It used to be 100,000, but we told the developer that created it, we said, hey, We want to open up for a community. And he said, okay, $10,000 is the minimum. We were like, that's not going to work. So we got it down to 1,000. So let's say you invest the minimum, which is 1,000 US dollars. And the way that it would work is you have to do a split with the developer. So it's 50-50 split. Let's say he does 20%. So if you're splitting it in half at 20%, you would be compounding it at 10% a month. Okay? Everyone following? Now, it's $1,000 initial investment, doing 10% a month. Let's say you're compounding it for 5 years. Let's see how much that will end up in the next 5 years. So at $1,000 compounded at 10% a month, it would take you 8 months to double your money. So for it to go from $1,000 to 2,000, it would take you 8 months. Okay? Very simple. Now, after 5 years, you would have $304,481.64. And that's just compounding at 10%. It could do more, right? And if you want to take the money out, you can. You're not like forced to keep the money in, but this is just how I would think about it. Compound your money instead of it being in your bank account, I would have it compounded over time, and that way you are actually able to retain the value of the currency. And so I'm not saying that you have to use Apollo, but just find something that's at least giving you 1% a month, which is very hard considering the fact that just having a savings account, all they're doing is they're investing your money and then they're giving you 1% a year. Okay, so we're talking about, Apollo's doing minimum like 10% a month, right? So pretty awesome. I think it's the best vehicle nowadays. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. So there's this guy right here. He's from Hawaii. I actually lived there for a couple of years, and I was able to meet some of the people that are related to this guy. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. So he wrote a couple of books when it came to finance. The first book, which I highly recommend, is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. The second book is The Cash Flow Quadrant. And the third book he wrote was called The Business of the 21st Century. And this business of the 21st century is what we're going to be talking about today. It's in the field of network marketing, which I'll talk to you about here in just a minute. But in the cash flow quadrant, he talks about there's 4 ways to earn income, right? So there's being an employee. So as an employee, you have a job, you work for your money, right? You trade your hours for dollars. You work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Okay, let's say you're working at a smoothie shop, you're working 9 to 5. Maybe one day you're like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. I should open up my own smoothie shop. So then you become self-employed. Okay, so you open up your own smoothie shop. Now you're self-employed, right? Now you don't have a job anymore, but you actually own a job because you're the lifeblood of the business and you can't just take 4 or 5 months off. Right. You have to be there. Even if you have employees, you need to make sure that the business is staying afloat and it's running smoothly. So the whole goal and what Robert Kiyosaki says is to move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side. This is where financial freedom is. This is where time freedom is. Okay, so as a big business owner, that's what the B stands for, a business owner, you now are getting paid off of leverage. So what business owners do is they create systems. And a system is just an acronym for saving you some time, energy, and money. Saving you some time, energy, and money. Leveraging the work so that way it flows. Even if you're not there, maybe you can go and take a couple of months off and your business is still running hands-free. So, I'm not telling you to do this, but imagine, I'm sure all of you have been to a McDonald's and you've seen kids running the store, right? I remember being at a McDonald's and the manager was like a 17-year-old kid, right? And it's like, okay, how is that possible? The reason why that's possible is because if you want to be a franchise owner, right, you pay $1.2 million with to McDonald's, what happens is they have a system. So they have like a system of how to do everything and how to make sure that your business is actually making you money. Okay, so that's why a 17-year-old kid can actually run the business because they have a way to do everything, a way to fry the French fries, a way to flip the burgers, a way to mop. Literally everything is in a system. So that way you like for sure cash flow on your $1.2 million investment. Okay, so another way to think about it is, um, excuse me, is for example, Elon Musk, right? We all know him. He has, let's say he has 10,000 employees. Each one of those employees, let's say they minimum work 8 hours for him. And so they're in his system. And so he's leveraging their time and efforts, right? So, excuse me. So if Elon Musk has 10,000 employees working 8 hours a day for him, he's able to leverage 80,000 man hours because 10,000 employees times 8 hours a day, that's 80,000 man hours that he's leveraging. And so the name of the game on this side of the quadrant is leverage. So as a business owner, you're leveraging other people's time and efforts. And as an investor, you're leveraging your money. So the key to financial freedom is called leverage. Okay, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So like I said, we have two products. We have Dawn's amazing transformational process, which I believe is priceless. Like there's no money that you could put on that process. And I mean, like I said, people have paid him $1 million to do that process. He charged me $15,000. If I could, I would go back and do it over and over again. That's how powerful it is. Okay. And then you have Apollo, which is the AI. Okay. And that minimum was $100,000 just to invest in that. And so you get both of these amazing products, which are world class. You get them for $149 for the first month, and then you get it for $99 per month. Okay, very, very affordable for anyone. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, anyone can afford this. And let's say you go through the process, you use the AI, you get really excited about these products. If you refer three people, let's say it's your mom, your dad, and your brother, well, guess what? You get your membership for free. So refer three, and you get your membership for free. So that's just you as a client, as a customer, as a member of the system. If you want to build a business and create residual income, I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. So we have an amazing, lucrative partnership program in the field of network marketing. And if you've never done network marketing, just to explain it simply, it is instead of spending and investing millions of dollars on TV commercials, advertisements in the newspaper, billboards, the traditional way of marketing, what we do is we pay amazing people like yourself to spread the word using word of mouth by sharing it with other people that you care about. Okay, so we just, instead of taking the money and putting it there, we give it to you guys. We actually pay out about 80% of all of the profits. The money, the 20% is literally just for keeping the company healthy and afloat and being able to take care of all the overhead. Okay, so there's an infinite income potential. So you can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way to $4 million every single month. You can earn residual income. So residual income is doing the work one time, getting paid for that work over and over and over and over and over again, if not forever. So I have a real estate company in the United States, and basically I set up the system one time, and I get paid over and over again, right? Like we got paid maybe 3, 4 times just today. So that is one way that you could think of residual income, right? And I'll take the traditional model of real estate. So let's say you went and you purchased a home, right? You got a home in the United States. Okay, let's say you wanted to make $500 in residual income every single month. What you would do is you would get a mortgage let's say the loan was 250,000, $250,000. The mortgage you would be paying $1,500 a month for whatever, 5 decades or whatever, right? 36 years. And then you're renting it out to someone for $2,000 a month, right? So your residual income, you'd get that check every single month for $500, but you had to leverage $250,000. Okay, and I'm going to show you a much easier way to create residual income than having to leverage $250,000 and then have to fix the roof, fix the toilet, someone breaks into it, you're responsible. All of these things that are just not ideal, especially for the amount of money that you're earning. And then there are no qualifications or experiences needed. You don't have to have an amazing resume. You don't have to have gone to the best schools. You don't have to come from a rich family. In fact, I came from a very poor family, had absolutely zero knowledge on financial education. Doesn't matter if you went to Yale, doesn't matter if you went to jail. Okay. And I went to jail. Like I said, I've done some pretty crazy stuff in my life. I was a rebel. I mean, at one point, my my GPA, I don't even remember what it was because I was either the kid that was sleeping in class or talking, and then I would skip school all the time and go drinking. My blood alcohol level was probably higher than my GPA at one point. So, the reason why I'm sharing this it's not that I'm proud of it. It's more so to tell you that if I could do it, then you watching this call can absolutely do it. Okay, so there are team building incentives here as well. So you're in business for yourself. You have a whole system, but you're not in business by yourself, right? We do these calls twice a day, 5 a.m. Dubai time, 7 p.m. Dubai time. So it's literally all you have to do is become an expert inviter. And I'll give you some examples here in just a moment of some people that really took advantage of it. And so let's get into the pay plan. So there's a couple of things that you have to know. There's as far as the qualifications go. So there's a rank name. So this is like, I guess in a corporate sense, it'd be your role. There's a network size, which any business owner, anyone that has anything, whether you're someone that's a fitness coach writing programs, whether you're someone that what's an example? It doesn't really matter. If you're in car sales, if you're a coach, it doesn't really matter. Your whole goal is to create a network of clients. Okay, so this is your network of clients. This is your personal referrals, meaning the people that you personally refer to the system. And then there are three ways that you get paid. So there's the personal refer. Oh, this is not correct. This is the weekly residual. I have to get my editor to fix this. The weekly residual, you're getting paid weekly. Okay, so this is paid out every single Friday. And then you have your one-time rank bonus, which is paid out once a month at the end of the month. And then there's the direct bonus, which is paid out $50 per membership, but until pre-launch is over, which should be anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to double that up. So we're going to give you $100 instead of 50 for every single person that you personally refer to the system. Okay, so if you want to hit the rank of inviter, what you're going to need is 3 total, 2 on your left team, 1 on your right team. Out of those 3, you only need 2, 1 on your right team, 1 on your right team, 1 on your left team. Okay, so let's say it's your mom and your dad, and then let's say your dad invites his brother. You have a total of 3. Congratulations, you're an inviter. You're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. And then don't forget, you also get a direct bonus. So for those 2, your mom and your dad, you're getting $100 per person. That is an extra, let's say you did this in your first month, that's 200 for the direct bonuses, and then for the weekly residual, you're getting paid another 100, that's $300 you earned in your first month. Absolutely awesome. So connect to 200. So to hit this rank, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna focus on this rank. this is the building block of everything, right? Rome was built one brick at a time. So to hit connector 200, what you're gonna do is you're gonna help your mom and your dad hit inviter. Okay, they're gonna hit inviter, and then once you have four on your left team, four on your right team, you're now earning $50 a week, which is $200 a month, and then you get a one-time rank bonus of $200 one time. Absolutely awesome. Once again, Chris, shout out to you if you're on the call. I think you are. He hit this, and I don't. And Chris, could you tell me, do you have experience in the industry? Because I'm not even sure, because it seems like you do, but I don't know. I love it. Oh wow, this is your first time. And so this is actually really powerful. He said, soak in the information, find your why, share your why, attraction marketing will take effect, and then the people that relate with the same vision will jump on board. That's all I'm doing, and my team shares the same vision by helping others. I absolutely love that, bro. Congratulations once again. It's awesome. It's your first time, and you're so lucky, bro, because you found Divinfi as your first vehicle. I've gone through so many different companies, and it's like, yo, I wish I had this for my first go around. So that's awesome, bro. Like you said, it's really just finding a strong why as to why you're doing this, and then sharing it, and then the right people will be attracted. And I believe that Tui, you have a very strong why with what you shared with me the other day. Just wanting to bring your wife and your two kids from the States so they could be with you in Australia. That's very deep, bro. And I'm so glad that we get to help you. And once again, congratulations to you for hitting Connector 500, earning $500 a month. And so all Tui did is he hit Inviter, right? He brought his two people in. He helped a few of them hit Inviter as well. And then now he has over 10 people on his left, 10 people on his right. He's earning $125 a week, and then he gets a one-time bonus of $500 one time. So, it really is that simple. It's just about helping enough people get what they want. And when you do that, you'll get everything that you want. It's all about helping people get to Inviter, and then they do, and they duplicate the same thing over and over and over again. And Tui, even though his wife is in the States, she actually also hit Connector 200. And then we have other people that are, right around the corner about to hit it. I believe Max hit Inviter. Was that correct? Am I mistaken, or is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Max is only two away from hitting connector 200, so he'll hit that next week by Wednesday. 100%,
Awesome.
100%.
Let's go. Let's go.
No,
Everybody's
I
everyone's ranking up. Australia is on fire. Let's get it. Vancouver, Australia, and then we'll get the rest of the map on the roll as well. So yeah, basically it's really just it's focusing on this very first rank and helping each person get here, and then duplicating that process over and over and over again. And so connector 900, same thing. You only need two. And then once you have 20 on your left team, 20 on your right team, you're earning $225 a week, which is $900 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $900. Absolutely awesome. Connector 1500. The only difference here is that instead of having one on your left, one on your right, you're going to need two on your left and then two on your right. So let's say it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. And now out of those four, you need 40 on your left, 40 on your right. So you're just duplicating the process, and now you're getting paid $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month, and then you're getting a one-time rank bonus of $1,500. Awesome. Not going to go to it too much. You guys can see it just starts to duplicate. 75 on your left, 75 on your right. You're earning $3,000 a month. Networker 5K, 200 on your left, 200 on your right, and you're earning $5,000 a month. And it's crazy because, like, if you wanted to earn $5,000 in residual income in the traditional model, I mean, let's just even that's That's like at least $2.5 million you would have to leverage to earn, right? You need to at least leverage $2.5 million just to earn $5,000 in residual income. And then you remember what I said is like to earn $500 in residual income, you need to leverage $250,000, right? Like Tui, what would be easier? Hitting connector 500 or having to manage a whole property, leveraging $250,000?
Connect the
Yeah,
500's easy, brother. All
yeah,
day,
right.
every day. You got it all day, every day.
I love it. And now we're gonna have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are at Connector 500 and beyond, right? And so, um, if you're watching this, just know that you can play however big or small you want to go, but I definitely suggest going all out and playing big because it takes the same energy to play small and to think small as it does to play and think big. So you might as well go all out, but it's up to you. If you're happy with an extra $500 a month, awesome. If you're happy with an extra 5K a month, awesome. If you're happy with the 9K, 25K, $100,000 a month, we have a plan for you. We have a system. And I've seen people and have been a part of systems where people were earning not only that much, they're earning millions of dollars a month. So I've seen it being possible in other people's lives. And I mean, I've had my fair share of being able to earn really like I'm not going to talk numbers, but just like really good income, more money than I could even knew what to do with it. And that's only possible to this industry. And I believe that we have the number one system in the world. And so we just want to reward the right people for sharing the vision with others and really making a difference in other people's lives. And so, like I said, speaker 9K, you're earning $9,000 a month. Only difference is the referrals, and then you just duplicate the process and so on and so forth. Okay, so there's a fourth way you can get paid. And so these are for the people that want to go big time. Okay, so at speaker 25K, we open something up called the global pool bonus. So at the global pool bonus, what we do is we take 1% of all the sales worldwide. So let's say it's $1 million, we put it into a pool and then it's split evenly amongst the number of shares. So let's say there's 10 shares and there's $1 million. So 10 divided by a million is 100,000. So at speaker 25K, you get one share. So you'll get an extra $100,000 on top of the 25 grand you're making every single month. And then you earn one share onwards until you get to master 75K or 750, sorry, master 750. And so here you're going to earn two shares instead of one share. So after 750, you're earning two. So if you're earning two, that means you're getting an extra 200,000 on top of the 750,000 that you're earning every single month. So like I said, you could go part-time, you can go full-time, you can go big time. And just so you know, you don't necessarily have to do much, right? It's all about sharing and inviting people to the system until there's a certain point where we're obviously going to ask you to step up and be the leader because it's all about duplication and I can only do so much. But I'll give you an example. There's this girl, her name is Tiffany. She joined a deal that I did 8 years ago. She was 21 at the time. She was a waitress and she was earning about $2,000 every single month. She joined the business. She saw the vision. She wanted to be a part of it. And by the way, like the products were nowhere near as good. It was literally some blueberry juice. Okay, it was from the wild Alaskan blueberry, and there's like some noni juice and some fish oil and whatever. And it's like 6 times more expensive to buy in, or even 13 times more expensive to buy in, right? So we have way better products. It's not even comparable. It's funny. And so Tiffany, she was very much an introvert. She didn't speak that much. She was very introverted. She stayed to herself, but she wanted to change things in her life. And so I told her this because I had heard it from one of my mentors. He said, the person that gets the most butts in the room gets paid the most. Or another way you could say it is the person that shows the information the most gets paid the most. The person that invites the most people gets paid the most. So she did this, she did that. She just invited to our local Starbucks meetings, which was crazy because I mean we were going wild at that time. I remember getting kicked out of Starbucks and getting the police called on us because we had so many people there. And then she would invite to the Zoom calls. Zoom wasn't that big at the time, but she just plugged into the system. And that's all you have to do. Plug into the system. We have some tools coming out, which I'll talk about later. But after 3 months, Tiffany went from earning 2 grand a month to earning over $15,000 every single month. Her highest paying month, I believe, was about 21,000 at 21. She was earning over 15 grand at 21 years of age. And then her mom, she also joined the business as well. She was working at a warehouse. I mean, she was unhappy working at the warehouse, I can tell you that. And she was earning over $10,000 a month. Her uncle, he barely came from Vietnam a few months before we started that business, and he was earning over $10,000 a month. And the thing is none of them, not Tiffany, her mom, or her uncle, ever did a single presentation until about 9 months into the business. And then I was like, dude, you guys need to step up. Like, y'all need to start doing some presentations. And so then after 9 months, after they already had the results, then they started doing the presentations. So all you have to do is invite to these calls. And when they are ready to go, you get the reward. Okay. Very simple. So we are in pre-launch. And I don't really consider this a business. I consider it an ecosystem that takes care of our people. And I'm just like one of you guys, like I get paid off of the system as well. So it really is, there is a business opportunity, right? So when it comes to business, it's all about timing, timing, timing. Imagine getting into a time machine and going all the way back in time to whenever Apple was launching, and you invested $1,000 or $10,000 into Apple stock. Where would your life be now? Especially the fact that Apple's the number one company in the world, worth over $3 trillion. You know, it's worth over $3 trillion. You, as an investor, and you, as someone that had depth of vision that could see further, you'd be a multi-millionaire for taking that risk. So that is the exact opportunity you have with Divinfi. Except I believe we're going to have a deeper impact on more people than Apple. And it's not even a belief. I know, like, just the little ripple effects that are happening right now are absolutely amazing. We're shifting people, we're giving them real freedom internally. Let alone, I mean, Apple's great. Like, I love my iPhone, but it didn't really change my life for the better in so many ways. So, yeah, you get to be a part of that. So take advantage of the opportunity. Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you're ready to get started, if you're in alignment with the vision, get back to the person that invited you to this call, and you're going to ask them for their unique link so that way they get the credit for inviting you. Just so you guys know, right now we're bringing in a new payment processor. It's going to be a global payment processor from Hong Kong. It's still not quite there yet. So if you want to get started, you're going to have to use a crypto payment option. Just so you know, if you need help paying with crypto, reach out to someone. I can help, and we can get you situated and get you onboarded correctly, get you the next couple of steps. And so I'm gonna actually talk about we do have some awesome prizes that we're giving away. I need to actually put that on the hold on. Let me just put this up real quick. So we have a couple of promotions. Like I said, we have the The double up bonus where you're getting double, so $100 instead of 50 for every single direct. And we're also giving away some surprises. So if you bring 10 people into the system directly, you're getting a brand new GoPro. If you bring 20 directly, you're getting a brand new iPhone. If you bring 30, you're getting a brand new MacBook. And this promotion ends on August the 18th. And if you hit Connector 1500, you get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first Divinfi event. And then if you hit Connector 3000, you're getting an all-inclusive, which is going to include the flight, the hotel, and then VIP access to the event. And it does not matter for either of these promotions. Even if we have 1,000 people that qualify, we're giving away 1,000 of the prizes. And if you want to stay connected, feel free to scan this QR code, follow us. I would say Telegram, Facebook, and Instagram are probably the best bet. So you can just stay connected with all things Divinfi. And just to note, the event's going to be really powerful. That's where things change. That's where you make a decision, and that's where you see like, okay, like I'm gonna go all in no matter what. So that's what one of my mentors told me is like, make sure that you do everything in your power to be at the event. And I remember being at the events, and I remember this one time in specific. I lived in Dallas, Texas, and the event was in Las Vegas. I had like $50 to my name, literally $50. And I went to that event and I had to figure out a way, right? Like, one of my buddies let me stay at his place, in his hotel room. So I stayed there. You know, I remember just like going to Vegas and then like I'm like, all right, well, I have $50. I'm gonna figure out a way to like survive the next couple of days. I go to Subway, try to get a 6-inch Subway sandwich. Little did I know that the Subway in Vegas is way more expensive than the regular Subway. I paid like 13, $14 for a 6-inch. I'm like, holy crap, how am I gonna make this work? I made it work. So there's no excuses. I mean, literally, I think that's why I went through all of the tough times, because if I could do it, you can 100% do it. You just got to figure out a way. And instead of trying to look for excuses, look for solutions. And we're here to help you. So I'll open up for questions. If you have any questions, we can make sure to get those answered. And yeah. Awesome to have you guys. Aki, any questions?
Brother Sam,
Yes, sir.
can you please explain? With the you get three signed up, three directs. That means then you are free, right? Your monthly subscription is free. Is that only for United States um, members, or is that for the world?
So the world.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Because I've been telling everybody, let's get the three. Then you're free. You got to get that free, so then you're free. So yeah, free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Got it.
Awesome. Heck
Everybody targeting
yeah.
free and above.
Y-
Free and above.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
bro. Yeah, you're welcome. Aki, did you have any questions? Because I know you're probably one of the only people here that isn't already in the system. And Barry and Aki, y'all are the two people that are not already in. Is there any questions? What exchange are the US residents using for the algo? So it's not an algorithm, it's an AI. And then right now for US clients, we don't have anything right now. So what I've been offering my team is, hey, like I have my exchange. What you can do is you can start to use my exchange. You can compound your money there. And what I could do is I could just send you the money whenever we get Coinbase ready to go. So that's the only solution I have right now. We're just waiting on the developer to figure out which way we're gonna go. Unfortunately, we don't have a solution right now. So the only one I could think of is, hey, I have the AI available to me. If you want, you can take advantage of it by utilizing my exchange. I even told some people if they want, like I don't mind sharing my credentials. I have a two-factor authenticator, so it's not like anyone could withdraw. So that's really the only solution I have for you right now. But also what I would say is the AI is obviously really awesome as far as the compounding your money. Don't sleep on Dawn's process. It's absolutely worth every single penny. And so while we wait for the US to launch, you definitely want to utilize Dawn's process. I mean, the people that have used it know it's just beyond anything. I mean, what Tui shared with me about his transformation, and I've seen a lot of people really get a lot of really amazing things from that process. So don't sleep on that. But we can keep you posted as far as the AI for US. But if you also want to utilize, like I said, the solution I just gave, reach out to me and I can help you out with that. Everywhere else is basically good. It's just the US. They're always usually the hardest. They always have some crazy regulations. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Sorry, Sam, just a quick one. So Binance here in Australia is okay for us to use with our
Binance is good to go. Binance is good to go for you guys in Australia. It's good to
other
go for
people
people
can
in
start jumping on it.
Canada. Yeah, so we're good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All righty. Well, if there's no more questions, we'll end the call and then we'll see
Hey
you
Chris,
guys
I want to say hello
not
to Chris quickly.
tomorrow. So we're actually not gonna have the 7 p.m. tonight because Jamie and I were talking about we need at least one day to just kind of just get together, have like a team meeting. So we'll see you not at 7 p.m., but on 5 a.m. on Monday, Dubai time. Okay, so you guys recharge, relax, get together with your teams, start to invite some people to the 5 a.m., and then we'll see you then. All right,
Thank you,
guys. See
Sam.
ya.
Thanks everybody. All the best. Good to
Infinite
see you,
love,
Chris.
guys.
Go well.